Carmelo Anthony is finally on the move. What is going on, y'all? 5 Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe and follow me on my social media accounts. Links down below for my Twitter and my Instagram and all of that good stuff. With that being said, let's talk about the topic for today's video, which is Carmelo Anthony, who is now on his way out of OKC after he got traded to the Atlanta Hawks. And I'm going to break down this trade for you guys, talk about who won this trade, who lost this trade, why it was made, and where ultimately do I see Carmelo Anthony ending up, because it's not going to be with the team that he got traded to. So first, let's talk about the trade itself. So follow me here, guys. Don't get lost, because there are a few details that we need to pay attention to, so it might get confusing. But first and foremost, Carmelo Anthony is going to the Atlanta Hawks, and in exchange, the OKC Thunder are getting Dennis Schroder, okay? And a Atlanta is getting a 2022nd first round draft pick, which is protected, okay? So the pick and Melo is going to the Hawks for Dennis Schroder, okay? I'm going to get to the other parts of this trade just in a second here, but just to explain that for you guys, Atlanta has salary cap space to absorb Melo's contract, which is obviously larger than Dennis Schroder's. This is why this trade works and fits under the current salary cap, legislation. So the 2022nd first-round pick is really the key here for why the Hawks made this trade, because obviously they have no intention of keeping Carmelo Anthony. They don't need Carmelo Anthony. They're a rebuilding team. So what is this first-round pick worth? Is it really a first-round pick? Well, it's a non-lottery pick, okay? So it's protected, which means it's protected from 1 through 14. So if the if the Thunder end up being bad and somehow get in the lottery next year, or in 2022, then the Hawks will not get that pick, and in turn it will turn into 2 second-round picks, okay? But if the Thunder are in fact good, and in 2022, let's say they end up getting the 20th overall pick, that pick is going to the Atlanta Hawks, okay? So that's how that's going to work. So essentially, I'm probably certain they're going to get a first-round pick, because I expect the Thunder to still be good and not be a lottery team that would get a lottery pick at that time. So that's number one. Number two, a few more details on the trade. Mike Muscala from the Atlanta Hawks, he's going to the Philadelphia 76ers. Timothy Luwalu-Cabarrot, who was on the 76ers, he's going to OKC now. And then finally, Justin Anderson, who's on the Sixers, he is going to the Atlanta Hawks. So that is basically the entire trade in itself. But I obviously want to talk about the Carmelo Anthony side of things, and why this trade was why this trade was made, and why OKC did it, and how did it benefit them. So obviously we know that Carmelo Anthony is not the same player that he once was. Quite frankly, he's washed up, doesn't play a lick of defense, and he's just a spot-up shooter and a sporadic one at times. But I digress there, okay? The reason they made this trade was just because of one thing, and that is money, okay? Carmelo Anthony was owed $27.9 million, okay? So that was a lot of freaking money, because he exercised his player option for this season, and the Thunder are way over the salary cap in terms of the luxury tax even, okay? So you have a set salary cap for teams, and then if you cross that salary cap, you're in a luxury tax where you get penalized more money for crossing the salary cap, okay? So follow me here. The Thunder were in the luxury tax, okay? And getting rid of Melo, meaning trading Carmelo Anthony away, saved them from a $150 million luxury tax bill to about $88 million, okay? So they saved a lot of money, and if you calculate it over the span of the next 3 years, which is how much longer Dennis Schroder's under contract, and how long they would have had Carmelo Anthony under contract if they had waived him and stretched him, they saved in excess of over $100 million, okay? So there you have it, folks. That's why the Thunder made this move. So pretty good reasoning if you ask me. So why the heck did the Atlanta Hawks make this move? Well, they just drafted Trae Young this year, okay? And he is going to be the point guard of their future. And they have been trying to trade Dennis Schroder, who was their current point guard, starting point guard. And basically, he wanted out. He was disgruntled. He was not a fan of the team, of being on the team, of being on a rebuilding, losing team. So they needed to ship him. So they got the first round pick, which was what they wanted. They didn't want Carmelo Anthony, obviously. And they're going to obviously absorb Melo's contract, pay him the full $27.9 million, which is why he agreed to this trade, and then waive him, okay? And then Carmelo Anthony's free to go wherever he so chooses. But obviously, Atlanta just wanted that first round pick, and they got rid of Dennis Schroder because they wanted to clear the decks for Trae Young. So Dennis Schroder to the OKC Thunder, interesting fit for me because is he going to be a six-man? Is he going to start alongside Russell Westbrook? What's going to happen there? He's a clear upgrade over their backup Raymond Felton, okay? And to me, Dennis Schroder is a starting caliber point guard in this league. So for the Thunder to have him as a backup, which I think most likely will be the case, is actually a very good thing for them because, you know, it shows that they have a luxury of point guards, if you will. And so Dennis Schroder is going to be a great six-man off the bench for them. So I like this trade a lot from OKC's perspective. Not only do you get rid of Melo, you save the $100 million, and you get a starting caliber point guard as now your backup, okay? So a great trade for the OKC Thunder. From the Atlanta Hawks side of things, I thought they could have gotten a little bit more for Dennis Schroder. They just got a first-round pick. Maybe I would have liked a little bit more, maybe a couple more picks, or maybe other young players, if you will. So I'm going to give the Hawks maybe like a C+ for this trade. I wasn't a big fan of it from their perspective. And now let's talk about where Carmelo Anthony will end up. Well, all indications are from the latest reports that he is going to the Houston Rockets. So that is where I expect Carmelo Anthony to land, okay? It's been reported that for the past few weeks. The Rockets lost to Trevor Ariza and Luke Richard Mbah-a-Moute, so they clearly need some wings. I'm not saying Carmelo Anthony is the answer, but certainly they could use some more players on the wing, and Carmelo Anthony fits that bill. So I fully expect him, barring any last-second unexpected changes, to go to the Houston Rockets, and that's basically what's going to happen. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think about all of these moves, about Melo getting waived, about Melo, you know, possibly going to the Rockets. Who won this trade between OKC and Atlanta? Leave a comment down below if you guys agree with me or disagree with me. Make sure to subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.